On this first 6 problems, they want you to, I'm just going to identify the key information. So identify angles A and B. So we're looking at A and B as supplementary, complementary, vertical, or adjacent. Today's assignment and check is making sure you know how to recognize those type of angles and then find angle measures. So please pay attention to the first 6 because I'm going to talk about one new type that you have to start recognizing. All right, so the angle A is from ray to ray. So they're talking about this interior angle and here. What type of angle are they showing you? Yep, vertical. Okay, the thing, and I'm going to add this to your paper. The thing you have to know is that vertical angles are always congruent. You need to memorize that fact and use it to problem solve. So for example, if I tell you angle A is 140, then you automatically know what? B is also 140. Thank you, Ray. B is also 140. So we're going to always label all the vertical angles first because there's no math. They're just congruent. They have the same measure. Okay? All right. Now, I'm going to start 2 because it's going to be the one that has the new type. There's 2 answers, yes. One of them is, you're right, Abdul, supplementary. I'm just going to abbreviate SUP. Okay, supplementary angles. That's one type. There's another type. We're going to, because they want us to identify all that apply. What's another type of angle? Adjacent, yes. Okay. And I'm going to abbreviate that, ADJ. Okay. All right, so here's what happens. Whenever you have supplementary and adjacent together, it is called a linear pair. So I want you to add this new set to your paper. We abbreviate usually linear pairs with LP, okay? So if they're supplementary and adjacent, they're called linear pair. So they're still going to have a sum of 180, which is supplementary, all right? Now, the example on 3. What type are these 2 angles? Yeah, just adjacent. Oops, sorry. This one is just adjacent. We have nothing else to label it. I'm just going to abbreviate that. Okay. Okay, so. Vertical. Yep. 4 is vertical angles. The key is if they're across from each other or if they make an X. That's one of the things y'all did as a trigger to memorize. Now, what we're getting into now is going to ask you to find the angle measure. There's a key marking given here that tells me something to help me find the angle measure. That, the 45, and the 90 degrees right here. So if this side is 90, it's also 90 on the other side, right? So together, they have a sum of 90. So how do I get angle A? Yep, just 90 minus 45. So if A is 45, because that's what that is, then what do we know about B? It is also 45. Finding the angle measure is what we're building up to, using the type of angles. All right, let's do number 5. They're not across. They're side by side. So what is it called?
This could be supplementary, right?
Yes, this could be supplementary. That's and adjacent.
Linear pair.
Yep, very good. Supplementary and adjacent means they equal linear pair. Yes. 6 is complementary. We can abbreviate that with COMP. It's also what other angle? It's 2. No, not supplementary. It could be adjacent as well. Why is it not? Say that again.
Why is it higher?
Oh, because the letters have to be across. Like if the B was here, then it would be vertical. Okay. But it has to be side by side. Okay. Sorry. I'm going to give you measuring. This is what you're going to have to do today a lot. Okay. So let me show you the key to this. Always mark given information. This is the measure of angle 1 is 77. So I find angle 1, it's right here, and I put the 77 outside that arc. Okay? So we mark angle 1. Yes or no? Is this okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Then they also tell us angle 7 is 124. I find angle 7, it's over here, and it's going to be 124. The first thing we should always use is marking your vertical angles, because the vertical angles are congruent. So does angle 1 have a vertical angle?
3.
Yeah, so that tells me angle 3 is going to also be 77. Done. Who else can we mark?
2, 4, 2.
5. It is vertical. It is 124. So now that I have all my vertical marks, then all I have to do second is look for supplementary angles. Okay, because supplementary angles equal 180. Supplementaries are the same as a straight line. So if I'm looking, for example, on this line here, 1 and 2 would be supplementary. Exactly. So I can get my angle 2 here by just doing 180 minus 77. So this is 103. Which also tells me what angle 4 is also 103. Good. Just use the vertical. Does that make sense there? Okay, so now I can do that also with our angle 6 and 8. To get angle 6 or 8, what am I going to have to do? Yeah, 180 minus 124. Yes. So this becomes 56. So angle 6 is also 56. Now we have all the angles measured. So now we're just answering the question. What is find the measure of angle 2? What is the measure of angle 2? 103. We're done. We already have that listed. Angle 3, 77. It was our vertical. Angle 4, 103. It was also vertical. What type of angles are 6 and 8? Yep, they are vertical. What type of angles are 6 and 5? They are adjacent. You can say supplementary, or you can say linear pair. Because we want the relationship. They have a sum of 180. So when you give me the type, I want to know their sum. Is it 90, is it 180, or is it congruent? All right, what about 2 and 4?
Vertical.
Yeah, vertical. And then we found the measure of angle 8, 56, and angle 5, 124, because it was vertical to 7. All right, so what you're going to do today in class is this right side. The first top half is finding missing angle measures. What I would start off is with all the vertical first. So like, for example, you see how they gave us 45 right here? Which one? Sorry. C first, yeah, vertical. But A is also 45. How did you know that? You're right. A is also 45, but how?
35 is minus 45 angle. 45 is 90.
Yeah, this has to be a total. This is 90, so this has to be a total of 90. So 45 and 45 gives you 90. They gave us a box, right? So we know that's 90. So we should know the other ones now. What is E?
90.
It is also 90. What is A and D? 45, because they're vertical. Okay. So when I go over here to the 50, right off, what do we know? Who's vertical to 50? H is vertical, so it is 50. Vertical, they're across each other, okay? Huh? K would be 85. Yes, good. It is vertical to this 85. All right, so how am I gonna get to G here? 180 minus 50, exactly. Linear pair.
130.
So this is 130. Do you see what you're doing? Okay. So I tend to tell students, mark everything you know on the diagram first and then fill in your missing angles. I is also 130 because it's vertical, yep. Okay. Now, after you find each angle measure, you just list them, you should be done. You should have them. The bottom half requires you to draw and construct